I've been making shirts and blouses recently, and these are very straightforward patterns that I could definitely recommend. So I thought I would just show you them and so you can see what I've been making at the minute and some plans, because I do actually have some plans. The spring is nearly here, which means my conservatory, aka my sewing room, is not a freezing cold dark box. So now plenty of light, nice and lots of warmth, which means the sewing machine has been dusted off and we're back in action. So with that, I will go in for the first make. Okay, first make is the all-in easy button-up shirt by Pattern Emporium. This one is a very good shirt because there are several different options. I chose this, which I think is a cotton twill. I bought it from a local fabric shop. It was only £6 a metre. I think I got 2 meters. And it stretched out really bad when I pre-washed it. So I've got it tucked in here. I will come on to the details about the way that the fabric stretched out, because you'll see it in the pattern. But I thought I'd just quickly show you what it is. So it has a, oh, let me shuffle over, high-low hem, but the way they get you to hem it, you hem the front, you hem the back, and then you stitch it together. So sometimes when you do an all-in-one hem, this bit here where the curve is, you get a lot of bulk on the fabric, and sometimes unless you do gathering stitches it can be tricky to sort of like go hem that curve. So this way you just hem the front and the back, and then you just tally it up when you then sew the side seams, and it works out really well. And I found that I have got a nice flat seam going around here. I did shorten it by 1 inch at the waist, which is standard for me, and I did a 1 inch narrow shoulder adjustment. It does have a slight drop shoulder naturally anyway, but I have narrow shoulders and I'm short waisted, so they are the 2 automatic adjustments that I do. I'm 5'3½", just for reference, and I think this is drafted for about someone who is 5'6". So that's, I think they did actually say that, I found it on their site, which is why I knew that I wanted to take out, but it is still quite long. So if I untuck the front, it's a very loose fitting shirt, so it would be an ideal shacket probably as well. So it does come quite low. I would probably take a bit off that because I feel like it's maybe a bit too long compared with the front. But again, you can have it untucked or what have you. I did the full length sleeve. There are about 3 different sleeve options. You can have short sleeve, there's like almost like a little sort of flutter sleeve, and then I think there's like a 3/4 length sleeve that doesn't have the placket, the sort of sleeve placket bit there with the cuff, so it's an easier make. And then there is a photo on their, I think, Instagram or their site, where you can have the sleeve here, and then you just put an elasticated cuff, and it gives the shirt a whole different look. There are also 2 options when it comes to the collar. There is no collar stand with this, so which is why I'm recommending, if you haven't made a shirt before, and I thought of even the name collar stand, although it's really not that difficult to do them, but this means it's quicker. It just takes 1 step away from what you have to do. So this one, the collar just goes straight onto the main bit of the fabric, so you haven't got the collar stand to do. It just means that you can make it up quicker, and it still sits absolutely fine. So you just fold it over like this. There is an option for like a camp, is it camp collar? So it sort of, it sits open like this, so it has a different collar piece, but I quite like the collar. Oh, the other thing I did was, because I went on a fitting course a 1.5 years ago, because I have a sway back adjustment. When I went on that course, they advised the back, my back piece, when she measured me, she said that was 1 inch longer than like the front. So at the time, she showed me an adjustment to do, and I did it on this one. So I added 1 inch to the back, and then I tapered to nothing at the side seams. So I found sometimes, because I've got like a sort of rounded shoulder, really bad posture, probably too much driving in the last few years, but I sort of like hunched over a bit, which means that the fabric was sort of pulling and tugging. So by adding that extra inch at the back, it kind of like fills into there. I mean, I probably could add a bit more at the top for round. I didn't do an official round shoulder adjustment, but I did put that extra inch in at the back, so there was less pulling. Now this is a very loose fitting shirt. One thing I did mess up on was the placket here. I sort of sewed it on inside out and back to front. It's been quite a while, quite a few years since I've made a long sleeve shirt. properly, so I forgot how to do them. So my next one I do know, and I also messed up because I couldn't see my chalk line and I didn't make the deep enough cut. So I wonder why I had loads of binding left and chopped it off. So that is why that one is a deeper slit than this one, because really the opening should be about here, not up here, but I can still roll it up and it's absolutely fine. Now the fabric, although cotton is a really nice fabric to use, especially for shirt sewing, I've got t-shirt underneath in case you think I'm stripping off. No, I'm not. I will show you. Thankfully it worked all right because of the way that the band sits. So here we have, I tried to get it to match up. I'm just looking at my viewfinder, slightly off, but this fairly straight. If I show you this side, if you look at, I don't know if you can see, let me pan you down and perhaps you'll see what I'm talking about. Can you see the pattern? The grid is kind of like going like that. That is, so this has been cut straight, but the fabric stretched out so bad, that's how the pattern goes. But on this side, that was absolutely fine, but for some reason, that one, so because if I button it up, you see the straight side, it kind of covers it up, but it's slightly annoying. Yeah, so it also is a bit all slightly off, but it's not really noticeable. I try to get it, as you can see, perhaps from there, I try to get the lines more or less following through. Let me just pop you up. With the back, it has a box pleat, and I think it did say on the instructions that you can have it out or in, basically. So I inverted it because I did do a 12 first, and I felt there was just like extra bulk at my back, and I have put on a little weight recently and I thought I don't want to feel even bigger because it's a loose fitting shirt, so I thought it might just sort of just feel less bulky just to have it. So I inverted it, so if you can look, that box pleat is going in, but on all the other photos I've seen other people make, they have it sitting. It might not even make any sense what I'm talking about, but instead of the pleat going in, it goes out. So you have the sort of extra fabric on the outside, but it doesn't restrict me at all. And I feel like it just sits nicer having that pleat sort of going inwards. I was a bit lazy and used my overlocker. So on the insides, and I do have blue thread, excuse me, couldn't be bothered to change it, so I used grey. So here you can see there. So you hem the front and the back, and then you just do the side seams, and it's really neat. So I haven't seen that in the pattern before. Usually they get you to sort of pin up, and then you end up having to like do some gathering stitches, and it's all a bit of a mess. So I would definitely recommend that technique. And here is a close-up of the collar. So you've just got, this is the inside obviously, no collar stand, so that collar will just go straight on, and it just makes it really easy. So I do quite like a shirt with a yoke, which is why I went for this one. So here's the outside of the shirt, and then perhaps you'll see what I mean for the inside. You've got that extra like pleat sitting out, that's on the inside of the shirt, but a lot of people have that on the outside of the shirt. It really doesn't make any difference to how you wear it or how it sits, but it's a nice t-shirt, sorry, it's a nice shirt to throw on over another layer, especially for this time of year, and for autumn time it will be the same. Great for layering, and if I had it on my arm on its own, perhaps just having it tucked in just makes it less bulky because it is a very loose fitting shirt. I definitely want to make some more, but in different sleeve options, and perhaps in a plain fabric, just to see. I'm a real tight person when it comes to sewing patterns, so I like value for my money, and so I want to see if I can get other items which make it look different from that one pattern. So that was Pattern Emporium. I downloaded it as a PDF, went together, it's fairly straightforward. I don't mind sticking PDFs together, but obviously there's an option to send it to copy shop and get that printed that way. But it's quite an unknown pattern. I don't really see people talking about it, but I'm a bit of I kind of geek out. I like to go deep dive looking at patterns when I have something in mind. So I was looking at shackets. I tried on a shacket in a shop, and I just felt like I was 2 sizes bigger. I felt it was really big and bulky, and so this one I can do it in a cotton. It's just nice, and I think it would look fine with shorts in the summer and a skirt. So I think it's a win-win. I kind of go for my colour palette, so I knew that I would wear, this is the kind of colour I would wear. Now I've got another shirt pattern which is replenishing something which I've worn a bit. So before I waffle on anymore, let me just go and pop that on. This is my other easy shirt pattern, or blouse pattern rather than shirt. I'm trying to walk backwards so you can see, slightly shorter. This one I would really say is a tucked in shirt or blouse to wear rather than untucked. Let me just pan you down. I made this one for work. I've already worn it a few times. This is to replace, let me tell you what the pattern is. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's the blouse pattern by the Avid Seamstress. Some people like it, some people don't. I have had no problems with it whatsoever, and it actually replaces, I've made about 4 of these, and three blouses I have washed and worn so many times that the fabric has faded and the sleeves were getting a bit tight, so I cut the buttons off, recycled the fabric, and then thought, right, okay, I'll make some more of these, and it's been great to wear. I usually have a vest top underneath, especially with a button-up blouse at work, because I don't want to be popping open at any point. There are no bust darts in this, so it's a nice loose pattern, and it has that sort of mandarin style collar. So again, no collar stand, you just put that straight on, nice little rounded collar. I did the same adjustment. I think I normally do I shorten 1 inch at the waist, but I didn't this time because it's not overly long, and I think when I did do a previous version which was shortened, it kept coming untucked, so I think this is the original length. I did do a 1 inch narrow shoulder adjustment, and if you look, it sits really nice on my shoulder, so that's with my 1 inch narrow shoulder adjustment. So it's like a 3/4 length sleeve with elasticated cuffs. So again, no difficult cuff pieces to do. If you're like me, you like to roll sleeves up all the time, regardless of the weather. I don't necessarily always like having a sleeve which goes right down to my hand, so you're washing up or anything like that. Yeah, I just quite like it. And in the winter time, I have worn this under a cardigan. I've made this out of a viscose fabric, so you can easily just have that under a cardigan. Sometimes if you've got a big bulky fabric, it will just bunch up and look a bit odd, and then it's sort of, you're quite cold because you can't wear it with a layer. But this one can definitely be layered up and down. I never follow the button plackets or the button placement with patterns. I just do it however I want to have the pattern. There is no yoke on this one. This is just a front and a back, and the this bit actually the same as that one as well. You just iron on some interfacing and fold under a couple of times, so you haven't got to stitch on a separate button placket. This one, there's no pattern matching to be done because it's just a random print. So it has a little bit of it's maybe not set in sleeve as maybe as neat as it could be. So I'll show you with it untucked. So again, it's just a nice length, and it's just, I wear this at work all the time on a weekly basis, which is why I've had to replace and make two different blouses to replace what I've had before, because I just wear this with some wide leg trousers, just tucked in. It gives a nice feel, but I suppose you could wear it with jeans. I'm not really a blouse and jeans type person. I'm more blouse, smart trousers, or shirt and jeans. It's kind of, but you know, that's just my taste. But yes, definitely recommend this. So by the Avid Seamstress, no bust darts, so no worrying about that. No darts at all, nice and loose. Easy to have a layer underneath it, or you could layer over it. Let me just show you the other one I've made. This is the other one I've made, exactly the same size as the green one, same adjustments, and I'll just put it on, and then I realised that the top button, the buttonhole, I haven't opened it. So clearly I've not worn that up, so I need to go and open that when I finish filming this. So again, nothing much to say, it was just to show you what it looks like in a different colour. That's that one. I will show you my sewing fail. This is a Ponte Roma, and I thought, oh yeah, the colour, that's like a good one. I will make an existing pattern which I have, which is the Tilly and the Buttons Billy sweatshirt, and you'll see why this is great, not great, and why I will not be wearing this. I sized up and thought I'll have this a bit looser, and it's really fitted and it really kind of gathered, although it is sitting flat, it's just really pulled because I didn't have any ribbing. Really tight all around. Feels horrible to wear. It just feels really restrictive and really tight. And I realised that I've spent most of winter in quite like bulky, like oversized things, and putting this on feels horrible. So this is the Billy sweatshirt by Tilly and the Buttons. Yeah, it's fitted, and it just makes me realise that no, that is not what I want to wear. I mean, the drag lines are terrible anyway, but no, I realised I like something quite loose that you can take it off and then have something a bit fitted, and it just gives that air to kind of breathe around and that movability. So yeah, I thought I'd just show the fail before it goes to the textile recycling bin. I have a couple of plans to show you. I bought this pattern which I found on the Fold Line website, but then I went scurrying around and I realised that there was some on eBay which were being sold for about half a price, and it was a printed version. So this here, I have the Mia dress. I personally think that the photos are just looking a bit frumpy looking. I don't know whether it's I think it's the fabric they've done it in. On the maker's website, so it is by, is it Make with Mandi? On her website, on her pattern, she's made it up in quite a modern looking fabric. I'm thinking about the short sleeve one. So this one here, oh, I guess it's the line drawings on the front actually. I'll get into focus, there we go. So slightly tiered, quite a nice deep V, because I was looking for a dress pattern because it's my dad's 80th birthday next month, and he's having a little bit of an afternoon tea open house around it here, so possibly outside, depends what the weather's like, could be inside. And I thought I would just make something that I can just throw on with a pair of trainers or something, but kind of look a bit smart casual. So I'm not sure, because I do kind of veer away from gathered dresses, but this is not gathered around the waist, it's gathered just at the tiers. So I'm going to make it up in like an old bedsheet or duvet cover just to see what the sizing like, and then I'll be looking out for fabric. So it takes about 3.5 meters of fabric, which is not too bad, because I have seen some dress patterns that are like 5.5 meters, and fabric is not cheap. Well, not where I look anyway. And so I thought, no, that's going to cost me absolutely loads. So I'm going to try this. Been a while since I made a dress because I don't wear a lot of dresses, but that is on my to-do list. And I have another pattern which I've downloaded. Again, I quite like a downloaded pattern, which is the Sienna Maker Jacket by Closet Core Patterns. And I'm at the process now where I use a glue stick, and sometimes then stick the corners in with a Scotch tape, and I'd run out of tape and glue. So I printed it off last week. So I need to just cut it up, cut the corners off, and then I stick it all together and then see what that's like, because I wanted a nice sort of casual jacket that I could just sling on, which has, and it's got quite a nice detail on that one with the sleeve, that's the word I'm looking for, and it has like almost like a pocket, and I'd quite like a little detail rather than just having anything too plain. And I just wanted a kind of like lightweight mid jacket. I do have a denim jacket that I made a few years ago, but I just want something different. And I love making outerwear. It's my favourite thing to make, just the process. And certain pieces get worn a lot more than others, and so the ones I wear more are the ones I'm thinking, okay, they're the ones that I do need to make again. So I know that sort of style I will wear with this, that and the other. So that is on my plans. Oh, and I forgot to show you, I don't think I've shown this on video. I bought myself this at Christmas time in a second-hand shop, £30 I think it was. I did have, I don't know if you can see at the very top of this video, I had a sewing box that I bought off eBay, and when it came it was like a tabletop one, it was really small. So I had a few bits and pieces in it, but this is the full size one, and so I have then filled it with, let me just show you actually, I just got my hair caught in the hinge. Ow, hang on. So I put in loads of my cottons and my threads and everything, and then I put my scissors. So I tried to get it all fairly organised. My husband got me some new scissors for Christmas, so they were in the bottom bit down there. Some quite expensive fancy scissors and a couple of sizes. He bought me like 3 pairs. He wasn't sure what I wanted. So here are my tape measures. I've just got things like elastics here. This is all cutting tools and measuring tools. I do have big rulers which I keep somewhere else. And then my threads, and in this box here I've got bobbins, like coloured bobbins. Some of you may have seen this in the background. I thought, what on earth is that? That is my new light that I've got. It has about 4 light settings, 4 settings. Just tap on the back of it. Someone at work has just started quilting, and she bought one of these and she sent me the link and said they're really good for sewing, and so I thought, oh, I'll try it. It's about £52, so I spent some birthday money on that one. It's flexible at the very top, so I can lean it right over my desk, but I will know more once I've actually sewn it at night time with it, because I haven't tested it properly out yet. If you're looking for some inspiration for other blouses and sewing easy kind of like makes, don't forget to check out this video on screen, and I will be back soon.